Hi, good day. It's Im from the AI Health Insights. Today, I don't know what today is. Hold on 1 minute. I don't do anything scripted. 9th of January 2024. Today, our topic in this whole entire series is about um, what is this topic about? Protein again. It's all that I talk about protein and the importance of amino acids. Protein in the body, amino acids. I don't know enough about protein, so I'm doing this series consistently until I think I'm satisfied to understand the role of amino acids, the function of amino acids, the different type of functions of different types of important amino acids. Of course, we would never know because it's all eternal. Well, it's not all eternal. It's just that every time you think you discover something, you are discovering more. Let me explain this from my theory of master life. So my master life series is the unique series that I bring to the world to explain how life occurs in the physical realities, from the sperm egg meeting situation into the creation of the embryo. These are, I use the word theories because that's the human words when you do not have the physical evidence to show forth for humanity. But of course, your spirit shall resonate, and you shall understand, and you shall know and become wise. So this sperm and this egg and this chromosome talk, all these are very important things to understand. What happens there in the physical reality of this life, sperm and egg meeting, and we get genetic codes from mom, genetic codes from dad. It creates an immediate explosion when they meet. It's an explosion, very, very delicate explosion. Of course, the mother and the father, if they are very well spiritually connected, they would feel the immediate explosion when the egg and the sperm meets. They would know that we have a baby at that point of creation. They would know because there is an explosion. But what is happening there at the point of the explosion? Why is there an explosion? The explosion occurs at this point, and one of the most important things that happens in this explosion there is the creation of the entire genetic code for that child, for that physical human body. It is not a unique genetic code, it is the entire human being genetic code. The same thing happens to animals when they mate and sperm and egg meet. The genetic code for the animals creates the genetic code for that animal. So the first thing that is created with the explosion of the sperm and the egg is the imprint of the entire genetic code. In reality, what this is, or sorry, in our analogy, what we have to see, because we work in a paper and pencil world, whether it's tablet paper or paper, it is the inscription of the entire genetic code of the human being, written down, let's just say written down column 1. I do not have any clue what the genetic code is. Let us get it clear. But that entire genetic code, whether it is 2,300 genes, whether it is 2,300 genes, or whether it is 2,000 genes, gets written at the explosion. And on the side of the genetic code, the expression code gets written. Now, the expression code at that point in time comes from the mother and the father. What it does, there is a creation point where it's all genetic code. So every human being, regardless of how you smell, look, think, taste, or touch, whatever you are, once you are a human being, you have exactly the entire block of genetic code, or you have that master genetic code. And that is what gets written when sperm and egg meet. An explosion happens and the entire genetic code gets written. The expression of the genetic code also gets written at that point in time. And what that expression is? So let's assume the first genetic code is ABA, which means the child shall have a hand and feet. I cannot explain how this thing works, but that is how it works. And that says, the expression says on. In the master record, it says on. The next genetic code says eyes, on. The next one says skin color, whatever, on. I'm just using simple analogies. This is not what it is in the genetic code. But so there is the code on column 1, and then there is the expression of the code. Then you might see one that says toenails, left small toe, off. Now that's what is important. So for every genetic code, there is an expression in the master record, meaning that at that point in time, the master record determines what gets expressed to the first cell that would be created in a few seconds, momentarily seconds after the sperm and egg meets. The first cell that gets created would take a copy of the master record into its own DNA structure. And when it makes that copy, it is making the copy of that master record with all the genetics and all the expression. I don't know if that is how it works. Or it might be taking a copy of only those genetic expression that says on. But the very first cell gets a copy of the genetic expression. Copy, it has it. The second cell, copy, it has it. The third cell's copy, it has it. And these 3 cells, they know exactly how to express themselves, because they don't have to look back at the master record. They look into themselves, because at a point of creation, they took an entire copy of the genetic code from the master copy. And that is how your cells goes about their business, because they go about and they say, we could do this, we're not supposed to do this because it's off. We could do this, you're not supposed to do this because this is off. We could do this is on, we could do this. And they start creating. And so cells for the toenails start creating. And if you remember my analogy, the left right toe was not supposed to create a nail, therefore a nail would not be created. My friends, the next week, the parents find out that they are pregnant. Okay, it's not in 1 week, but let's say the next 2 weeks or next month, the parents find out they are pregnant. They become happy. Ha ha ha! We go have a boy child. Chemical hormones from the mother of the happiness goes into this amniotic fluid, blah blah blah. Hormones travel up, chemicals, blah, and it now tells the master copy happiness should be produced. So whatever hormone that controls happiness, let's pretend it was off, it gets turned on. From that point in time, or at that point in time, if a cell is created, it takes a copy of the master copy and then sees happiness as an expression. So that child has cells that are already expressing themselves with happiness. This happens to us moment by moment. We change the genetic master expression, and every cell that comes after and look at it and says, when the cell is being created, it takes a snapshot of that master copy into its DNA and it says, I am now having a snapshot of the master record. Everything inside here that is expressed, meaning on, I would be able to do. Every cell that does that happens that way. And therefore, if you could turn on as much as possible in our master copy, then every cell that is created going forward, now we have to turn it on and keep it on. But here what happens: our mindset, our behaviors, our environment, blah blah blah, turns things off. So the master copy doesn't stay static, it changes. So if you could persistently hold your master copy in the state of bliss or the best possible state, if you could hold master copy there for 2 or 3 days, then every cell that comes from that for 2 or 3 days has exactly what you want turned on, and therefore your body, your new body in 2 or 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, expresses itself as the new version of you. You are a version controlled entity, and you control the version of you that you want to have in this eternity. You are your master creator. That is why it is said you are your own life creator, because by the way you think, by the way you dip yourself in certain environments, that is what changes the master genetic code expression column to say on or off, active or deactivated, or in the state of whatever. And every cell thereafter gets created, looks and take a copy. So anything that changes, and this thing is changing consistently when you change your mood, your behavior, your attitude, you meditate and you become calm, the calm genes gets activated, and every cell of calm gene after builds you into the calm person. So when you look forward for the change, it is future. So you direct your future, you inform your future by you presently creating the future within you. Thank you for viewing. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them to my email, my WhatsApp. The questions should be about what I just spoke about or nothing about what I just spoke about. Any questions are welcome. We shall have a grand time up in